Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I'm starting on the move. So moving from my commercial warehouse space thing into this building here. Today is sort of a like a staging day. So I'm going to be taking my truck and trailer today, picking up a load of stuff and basically staging things for the real move, which will be Monday. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. Hope you had a great week and whatnot. So in this video, I thought I'd cover a little bit more about like the backstory and a little more information on what having a rented commercial space has been like, and all of that. I haven't talked about that a whole lot, so this is sort of that. And then on Monday will be the real move, and that'll be like a little more stuff happening. So you know, there's the barn, and let's go. We're gonna be driving all the way to Minneapolis. So a little bit of backstory as a refresher, and I guess for the folks that are new here. So I got this warehouse space. My lease started August 1st of 2020. Before that, I had been looking for some kind of commercial space to either preferably buy or possibly rent. At my old house, I was really cramped for space. I was like, well, I was out of space. I had been out of space for a long time. And the biggest hindrance to the growth of my business, or to be able to do the things with my business that I wanted to do, was space. So I had been looking for space for a while, and we had also been looking to move for a while too. I had held off on actually pulling the trigger on any rental spaces, because in the back of my mind, I knew we were going to be moving across to the other side of the metro, so I didn't want to find something that would be, really close to home and then move and have it be far from home either. So after a while, though, I got to the point where it's like, I have to separate this idea from what's going on in my personal life to allow the business to do what it needs to do. So luckily, I did find this space. I knew the building owners. I've known them for a while, so it wasn't a huge deal. Oh good, a spam call. So I saw a sign in the building and I inquired about it, and we kind of went from there. The biggest sort of push for this was I had launched my workbench kits, and I had also launched my chair kits, and I kind of figured like I could muddle my way through both of those out of our house until chair kits launched, and like the amount of pre-orders I did like completely blew my mind. And I had that kind of oh crap moment where you're like, this is great, but now I have to actually figure out how I'm going to ship all these units. And keep doing that, because it seems like it was a continuous thing that people were going to be interested in. So I'm like, yeah, I really need the space. I had shipped a few workbench kits from the house. That was a huge pain in the butt. But I wasn't doing a whole lot of volume of those, so it wasn't, a huge deal. But I still would have preferred to have the space to ship those somewhere a little bit more efficiently. So that brought me back to, okay, now I really need some space. What can I find in a hurry? So the space I found is in Minneapolis, which was about 20 minutes from our old house. Super easy drive to get there, and not so far that it was a big deal to go there. You still wanted to go there with some kind of intention. But it wasn't, you could actually go there and you didn't feel like you're wasting the whole day just going there to do a couple things or whatever. So the space is sort of a shared space. So it is the excess space in, I guess, the outgoing area of this other business. So like it's a commercial cabinet shop. So all of the stuff that goes through production ends up in this warehouse space, to then go onto a truck and then be delivered out to the job sites or to the installer or whatever. This company had some extra space. They had almost the entire warehouse available all the time. And it was, how much space do you want? Just let me know, and we can parcel it out to whatever amount you wanted. So I took 2,400 square feet. It's two parcels. It's a 1,600 square foot parcel, a 6-foot aisle, and then another 800 square foot parcel on the other side of the aisle. And at the time, it was like, if that's all you need for now, that's great. But let us know if you need any more, because we got more space that we'd be happy to lease. And then as time went by, and as we got through the pandemic and the economy went a little bit crazier, their business kind of exploded, and the amount of space they were using for outgoing stuff got bigger and bigger, and to the point where they were just like right up next to me. Like there was no room between any of our spaces. So I kind of saw this coming when they were like, your lease is only 2 years, there's 6 months left, we're not going to offer you a renewal. I can't say I was particularly surprised, but I had 6 months to find something else, which, you know, I was grateful for that huge lead time. And they also offered that, you know, if I needed some more time past the end of my lease to transition, that's fine. We could work something out as well if it came to that, which it did. Spoiler alert. So I spent February through June looking for commercial properties to purchase and then also to rent. You know, no surprise, office space, super readily available now. But like warehouse space, like the space I need is a big open room, not particularly easy to find at all. I primarily looked more on our side of the city, the east and the northeast metro of the St. Paul, Minneapolis metro. This is where we're at. So that the space would actually be closer to home and have a lot more utility. Is the biggest problem with the space that we're going to now is that once we moved, it was like a 40-something minute drive. So to go there, yeah, you really had to go there for a real reason. And a lot of the stuff I'm doing now, I only need to be there for a couple hours at a time. By the end of June, after looking for places, we had 2 realtors that we were working with. I was driving around looking in industrial areas, writing down addresses, and then Lindsay was just calling random businesses, inquiring about renting or buying their building. We had no luck, and I was down to two options. First option, shut down the businesses, or just put them on hold, get a couple shipping containers, and store all the stuff until we can find something. Or option 2, put a building on our property that I could use for these businesses until they grew to a point where they needed even more space. So you know what option we went with? We went with option 2, which now there's a barn on our property. We figured we want some other storage building on the property, but we didn't really need it to be that large. So I thought at least on the ride over here, I'd just at least cover some of the pros and cons of an actual real, air quotes, real commercial space versus a space, you know, on your own property to work out of. Both both have pros and cons. First off, the commercial space, the pros of that is it's like a real actual commercial space, so you have a lot more freedom with what you can do. And in my opinion, having an actual commercial space allows you a lot more growth potential for your business, adding employees, adding more space, and if you're renting, having the flexibility of easily moving to a larger building should you need it is definitely a big advantage. An advantage of this particular commercial space, for instance, is that it has a full-on loading dock. It's fully, truck accessible, so large shipments, large trucks, whatever you need, is no problem having access for those types of vehicles. With the loading dock, it also makes freight shipments super easy. The driver just pulls right up to the dock, loads the pallets themselves, and takes off. Another sort of added bonus in my particular case with the freight shipments and every outgoing or incoming shipment is that since it's in a shared space, since I'm renting from another business, any delivery during business hours or pickup during business hours, I do not need to be there to deal with that, which is a huge plus for me. I can leave a pallet by the door. The driver will just take it when they show up. There's no interaction on my part. I'm not waiting around for a driver all day. I don't have in the back of my mind, oh yeah, I gotta be here when the driver shows up today because I gotta load this truck. I don't have to worry about any of that. So that was a huge plus for this space. Some of the general cons, your kind of operating costs may be higher. If you own the building, you're gonna spend more buying the building than putting one on your own property. That has pros and cons as well, which I'll get into with the building on your own property. You will definitely need to deal with commercial insurance, which may or may not be something you're already dealing with. When I moved into this space, one of those contingencies for my lease was having a full suite of commercial insurance, which was kind of a good thing. It's something I should have had for a long time. I had policies through my homeowner's insurance, which kind of covered my business, but having, real big boy insurance was sort of an added bonus of being forced to do it for this space. So that was also nice. So keep in mind, that's probably also going to increase your overhead. So for me, for all of my insurance, all my commercial policies, is about $5,000 a year that I didn't have before. But again, I probably should have, and I feel better having it. Another pro of having an off-site commercial space is employees and customers. You don't necessarily have to deal with people at your house all the time. So however you feel about that may or may not be a problem for you, but it's kind of nice to be able to just say, okay, my employees and my business can operate over here, and I don't have people showing up in my house whenever something needs to happen. Now, one of the cons of the off-site space is that you have to commute to that space. So that's, depending on how far that is, if it's a big hassle to go there, then that could be a bit of a problem. As far as building on your own property, some of the advantages, your outlay of initial capital is probably going to be cheaper. You're not going to be having to build, in most cases, depending on where you are, as always, you probably won't have to build to commercial standards. So your building itself will probably be cheaper. You'll have probably, depending on where you are again, less to deal with as far as permitting goes. Permits will be a lot faster and easier to get for your project, which is a nice plus. Another plus is you have no commute to go to work, which is a big one for me. That's the one thing that I'm really excited about this space, is that for the stuff that I'm doing, where I only need to pop in and out every now and then, that's a huge plus for me. I don't have to spend all day driving around. I can just hop out there, do something real quick, and then go back to whatever else I was doing back at the house or in my office or in the shop or whatever. Now for some cons. So the biggest con for me, and this is the one that I struggled with the most, to be honest, and that is the fact that the outlay of capital for the building is a sunk cost. It is non-recoverable, or it's not recoverable directly as it is with the purchase of a commercial building on its own property. I cannot, with my building, I can never sell my building. It's not an asset that I can sell. It does not appreciate. I can never get the initial capital through that traditional route, or through the extra route of having that actual building as its own separate investment. The only recovery of capital that I get is through the utilization of the building with my business. That's it. The revenue I can extract via my business, by my business operating in that space, is the only recovery of that cost. So you don't really get to have both perks of owning a building when it's on your own property. So that was my biggest holdup. That was my biggest concern with this, is it's not a real investment in itself. It's 100% dependent on my business. It's a dependent investment, not an independent investment. Another con is if you plan to grow your business and you plan to hire employees, you may or may not be able to, based off of the zoning that your house is in, the township, town, city, whatever, that your house, your residential property is on. So you may not be able to grow your business as much as you want to. And if you don't want people coming on your property all the time, that could also be a con, because if you do plan to grow your business, you're going to have employees, customers, deliveries on your property just showing up whenever. If you want to take a day off, you're still going to have people showing up to your house if you have employees and that business is operating another con in my particular case is the inaccessibility for trucks. I cannot get a tractor trailer to my barn, which isn't a huge deal because I have a forklift. I can meet a driver at the road and unload, which I have been doing. So it's still not a huge holdup, but it does make it inconvenient because now I have to sit around and wait for a call from a driver to then drive down to the driveway and unload them or something. So convenience-wise, annoying. But I can still do things. Then I gotta shuttle things back and forth if needed. For my regular outgoing stuff, it's not a huge deal. UPS is not a problem. They can just come up and pick up whenever. Some freight stuff, if they happen to come on a box truck, that I can get up to the barn. That's not a problem. But I have not had a freight delivery to the house yet that has come on a box truck. It's all been on tractor trailer. And then probably the last con here as we come into Minneapolis, it's probably more personally dependent, but depending on how you work and how obsessive your personality is, potentially having separate work and personal spaces could be beneficial. So if you work at home and all your work is at home always, that could lead you to work a lot and maybe work more than you should. So that could be something to consider too. Having those separate, like I go here to work, I go here to relax, having those separate spaces is definitely something to consider, depending on who you are. So I think that was long. I'm sorry, but hopefully that helps and gives you some things to think about if you're looking for more space to, grow your business, or if you're just interested in, I guess, more behind the scenes of how I got to this point in my life. Okay, here we are. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. Here's my door. Oh, look how they cleared it out for me. Usually this is just packed full of stuff ready to go out. So my space is back here kind of in the middle of the building. So I have moved back in July before my lease expired. I moved all my stuff to this side just to get some more time. They said, yeah, just move it over here for now and then give us this space. So all of this used to be mine. So this is 1,600 square feet here. And this side here is 800 square feet. So the barn is a little bigger than this. This is a 6-foot aisle. The barn's a little bit bigger than this, just a hair. Hey! Hey! Look everybody! Look who showed up!
How the hell did you get here?
It's like, do you know where this place is? And
shh! Don't tell them. It's a secret location.
It's a secret location, undisclosed location.
It'll disappear.
Yeah, please drop that box of bolts again. That was the best thing you've done.
I don't know if it's the best thing I've done. It's one of the things I've done.
Just one of the things. So I had previously moved all of my my chair kit, most of the inventory and all of the kind of day-to-day packing stuff to the house. That was a couple months ago. Once I disassembled my actual packing area, which was, I had moved over there. In the first videos of the warehouse, I had the packing area right here. I reconfigured it to a really great configuration I liked over there. Version 2 of the packing station was a lot better. But once I crammed everything into this space, I kind of lost the efficiency of the packing space. So I'm like, if it's going to be inefficient, I might as well move it to the house and have it be inefficient there, because I don't have to drive anywhere to pack chairs. So I have the inventory of chair kits is sitting in the new office space in the new basement area, and in my shop, which super inefficient, but I don't have to go anywhere to pack anything. So today we are going to be essentially just getting things ready for Monday and just getting a few things out of here. So I have all the small stuff on the shelf, which I'll go into Donovan's job box, which has been living here for a few years. So I'm gonna get a load of lumber out of here, get things sort of staged and ready to go for Monday. And you know, the biggest thing we'll move on Monday in the box truck is the slab flattener thing. And the giant bandsaw will go as well. We're starting to dig into it now. Telling the people what we're doing here. What our sketchy plan is. We've sketched down. I'm gonna start pulling wood out of here, so I'm gonna see how much of this situation here we can get onto the trailer. And then I have these pallets with some shorter stuff. Those will go into the back of the truck.
Do you want to go back the other way a little bit?
I'm trying to swing past these pallets. I combined those two smaller pallets into one, so they go in the back of the truck, and we're going to massage these to make them into one solid load that could go onto the trailer. So a little massaging on this to make it less all over the place. Hey, you look.
I look.
You look. You just look. That's it. So if I come in and grab the pallet, lift it,
So that's what
and drop on the 4x4s, the pallet should drop right out.
Yep.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, that's it for today. Made a little dent. So first load on Monday will be the slab flattener thing, along with whatever we can fit under, on top of, or around it. And then second load will be everything else. So now, because I'm here, gotta get tacos. Lindsay demands tacos. That's all she demands of me. Bring me tacos.
I think there's more than that.
Tacos! Be more excited.
Yay!
The best reason for coming here.
Tacos!
To the warehouse.
Yeah.
Stopping here and getting tacos. That's it. So, we're gonna have lunch now. I gotta bring my bride some lunch. Gotta feed my lady friend. Hello, truck. Look at this cute little locust tree. So little. That's good. That's good. Okay. We're back. Unload this thing. I'm gonna give this floor the weekend to cure before actually driving this thing in here. Because we were at, what are we at? 9 days today. So that'll take it to 11 days of cure time. Let's see about getting this unloaded. I think I'm just gonna try and end pick this as is and see if that'll happen. I guess the telehandler forks are just 5 feet long. The extension forks on my forklift are 6 feet. So I don't know if this will actually go without tipping. Yeah, that seems fine. Let's put it in the building. So that is the first load of stuff to be here. Monday is going to be a pretty hectic day, I think, with 2 box truck loads for sure, and we'll also have the truck and trailer again, shuttling things back and forth. The big bandsaw has to go on that trailer because it's too tall to go in a box truck. So that'll be fun hauling back here. So that's kind of it for today and for this one, I guess. Hopefully that was interesting and useful to folks looking to maybe expand and get into some more space for whatever it is that you're doing, and at least, if anything, give you a little bit of behind the scenes. It's bright today. Behind the scenes look at what's happening behind the scenes, I guess. So I will have a video for Monday when we do the big move. I don't know, it's going to be hectic, so it should be kind of interesting. That's why I want to do this video separate, at least, so I could share some of the more detailed stuff before the hectic moving day. So we'll see you next time on Monday. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on whatever the heck this video was, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking. I'm getting closer to woodworking again, just one step at a time closer. Have a great day.